My biggest fear turned into my dream job. Yep, you heard that right. For as long as I can remember, I've always had a crippling fear of becoming famous. I had no intentions of becoming famous and no reason to ever think that I would be. The main thing that caused this fear is my OCD. After falling deeper and deeper into the disorder, I realized I needed to do something to make it go away. And the only way to make it go away is to expose yourself to everything that may trigger it. Let me explain what's causing my fear. I've had OCD since I was 10 years old, and it isn't the organized kind. It's the type where I feel like I'm the most horrible person ever. One example is every time I drive somewhere, I think I hit a person and didn't notice. I've never actually hit someone. It had gotten to the point where I just wouldn't drive unless it was for school or for work. How this all connects to the fear of being famous is simple. If I were to become famous, I would be watched more closely and by more people. This would only make my OCD worse. Growing up, I'd always been the shy kid. I worried all the time and was nervous in social settings. I had a few close friends and would be hesitant to talk to new people. I was too wrapped up in my own brain that I convinced myself that I was undeserving of having many friends because they would eventually find out about my OCD and think that I was crazy. It wasn't until my senior year of high school that I decided to branch out and make some new friends. I rebranded myself from being the shy girl who wouldn't say a peep to someone who was super easy to talk to and wasn't scared of being perceived. With that being said, I really was scared of being perceived or judged on the inside. I didn't change my confidence, just my acting skills. They always say fake it until you make it. I wanted to stop faking it. As I went into my freshman year of college, I went in with the same mindset, but with much more confidence. I had the best semester ever. The next semester, I started to self-isolate again. I couldn't do my compulsions with a roommate, and I was in a constant state of distress. I moved into my own dorm room, and that's where everything went downhill. I slowly lost my good group of friends. I'd gotten my second concussion, which had put me out for the diving season. I still managed to do well in my classes, but I would skip them strategically. My room was always a mess, and I put minimal effort into my appearance. Then the best thing happened to me. I'd slowly gotten closer with a group of girls on my volleyball team. They understood me, and they made sure to always encourage me to get out of my room and do something. Things were really starting to turn around for me. They introduced me to even more friends, and things were finally getting good again. This past summer, I decided I was going to push myself out of my comfort zone even further and start posting seriously on TikTok. This was surprising to myself and all of my friends because if you know me, you know that one of my biggest fears is becoming famous. I didn't make a secret account either. I started posting on my main TikTok that all my friends followed me on. My reasoning for this was they were gonna find it anyways. Might as well just start it here. I was a little scared at first because I was sure people would talk about me, and they did. But I had worked so hard on my self-confidence that I wasn't even the slightest bit affected by the things they said. If the worst thing about me is trying to become an influencer, so be it. I started this journey by going to a local festival and interviewing some of the musicians I knew. I'd gotten so much support on these videos that I decided to go to a festival all by myself and try to interview the bands there. Not only did this help me generate content to post, but the connections I made were like no other. By going out of my comfort zone, I landed a collaboration with a larger festival. This is where things started to go downhill again. I saw everything getting much too real, and I decided to stop doing social media altogether. Keep in mind, I only had about 1,000 followers, so it wasn't really ever that deep. But I'd gotten scared of the world in general. I decided to stay home from college even. I was just not able to deal with everyday things. I spent most of my days at home. I lost touch with my friends. I was somewhere I never thought I would return to. One afternoon, I found an old album of pictures from when I was younger, and I became her again for a second. I was so disappointed that I let my mental health completely take over my life. It was going to be a rough journey, but I knew I had to do something about this. I got a therapist and I started bettering myself. It was still difficult, and it is difficult presently, but I will be happy that I did it in the end. I decided to start posting on TikTok consistently again. I'm talking 4 to 5 posts a day minimum. Did I get over my fear completely? No. Will I eventually? Yes. The entire reason why I chose the career path of media is because although I have the fear of becoming famous, I know there will be ups and downs, but I've already gone through so many that I know in the end it'll turn out okay. I also have a passion to be someone in the media who's trustworthy and can help at least one person feel less alone. I've taken many steps to get to this point, and I'm ready to take the next leap.